Crimson Desert looks more like Red Dead Redemption 2 than any other game. It's not just the looks either. Both games have ridiculous worlds. I mean, Red Dead 2 is already massive, but Crimson Desert is somehow way bigger. Both games are now known for a slow start. I don't think RDR2's prologue is all that bad, especially on the first playthrough. I was out of the snowy mountains in what felt like no time. Crimson Desert's main thing is being an entertaining, exciting sandbox. Rockstar know a thing or two about that, making those little GTA games. While Crimson Desert doesn't let you attach C4s to random NPCs, it still gives you plenty to keep you occupied. The irony is, Crimson Desert is more fun when you play it like a GTA instead of Red Dead. But you can clearly see this game was inspired by these huge story-driven open world games. Doing mundane tasks, riding behind NPCs and having long conversations, all that feels very out of place in Crimson Desert because it's not a story-driven game, neither is it a grounded game. You're playing with otherworldly magic and yet you have to pick up these rocks. It's one thing to do it in Kingdom Come where it's a brutally realistic world, or Red Dead which is again very grounded except for shootouts of course. 100 men armed with shotguns, no problem. One man with a suspicious cough and a cutscene, problem. Arthur, spoiler alert, dies of TB. In a world like that, completing chores makes sense. But in a world where 3 hours in you are resurrected, it doesn't make any sense. This is part of the reason for the disappointment at first. Devs have clearly tried to add elements from various different titles that aren't even in the same genre. But the good thing is, when you're done with your chores, you have one of the biggest, prettiest worlds to explore. This is where the game shines. It's relaxing just walking around, exploring, finding hidden caves or murky swamps filled with danger, or the other 15 biomes this game has. It doesn't hurt that the game is visually stunning. A lot of people have complained about the graphics being downgraded or looking blurry, pixelated. Other than pop-ins, which does happen a lot, I cannot find one fault with the way the game looks. It is absolutely breathtaking. Especially when it's sunny, everything clicks. The color palette is a little saturated, colors pop everywhere. It's just the perfect look for a fantasy world. Actually, it reminds me of Toussaint from The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine DLC. Colorful world from the outside, dangerous once you start exploring. When it's cloudy or raining, the lighting is flat at times, texture quality isn't out of the world good, so it relies a lot on lighting to look the part. To make this a fair comparison, Crimson Desert isn't a narrative focused game, so let's forget about all the amazing side quests, crazy NPCs, random encounters involving bear traps in RDR2. Let's just look at the Wild West, Arthur Morgan on his horse exploring. How good is Red Dead? It is completely grounded in terms of storytelling and characters, so the world is pretty boring without these crazy people. Yeah, hunting and fishing mechanics make for a nice relaxing day. They are good in small doses. If you remove side quests, Red Dead feels emptier than any of the amazing open worlds. Skyrim, Witcher, these are fantasies where developers can just drop a dragon willy-nilly if they feel the player isn't engaged. Red Dead on the other hand needs quests. You need the strong writing because the combat system is not good enough to make this world interesting. The wildlife does make it interesting, but Red Dead is about people and their motivations. So just the world without anything else, Crimson Desert is better. But add everything Red Dead has to offer and it beats pretty much any game you can name. But this round will go to Crimson Desert. We can look at the main plot. I can go on and on about how much better Arthur's story is. Also, Arthur Morgan is so much better as a protagonist, it's not even on the same axis. A protagonist so good, he made you hate playing as John Marston. Imagine saying that to someone before the game came out. Both of these games are action adventures, We have looked at how good of an adventure they offer. Now let's focus on the action part. One of my hot takes about Red Dead is that the combat is not all that good. It offers absolutely no challenge. Taking cover or even thinking isn't really necessary. You can zone out and clear these shooting galleries with ease. Zoning out while in the middle of the most important gameplay mechanic is not good, not at all. Rockstar's combat has always been like this, even with GTA, but the insane amount of weapons make up for it. I mean, what can I say? Modern weapons are fun no matter what. But when you go back 100 years and you have no RPGs in your saddlebag, it gets pretty dull. Deadeye is cool for sure. Getting new weapons makes it exciting for a while. That's how I get my second playthrough interesting. I was just constantly getting new weapons to mix it up. Unarmed combat is pretty good for an open world. It's no sleeping dogs, but getting down and dirty is insanely fun. Sometimes more fun than armed combat, because this fits into the world of Red Dead flawlessly, and it is more challenging as well. One of the two things I absolutely love about Crimson Desert is combat. It is more button mashing than I thought, at least in the first few hours, but the game is feeding you lower level enemies. You don't make use of all the moves and abilities you have at your disposal. Because of that, combat does get better and better as you progress. Enemies get better, fights are measured, at least against a single enemy. Multiple enemies, sometimes they'll rush you, beat you up and trample you easy as ever. This is supposedly not an RPG, but your Cliff can be a wizard or a viper who strikes out of nowhere, or just a traditional knight fighting with a longsword. It's all possible here and it's all amazing. It's not perfect, there is a slight delay for example, so blocking isn't reliable, parrying becomes a coin toss. Either you parry too early and it turns into a normal block, or you parry too late and you get whacked. Most of my parries is just through sheer luck. Movement is also not reliable. Cliff in combat is frustrating to control. Rolling and dodging, especially against bosses, is annoying at times. Because all you need is a game to be unresponsive once and you are on the wrong side of a combo and it's over. Controls are complicated, but you will get used to them in no time. But the unresponsiveness and delay is a problem. You have a fair few ways you can fight. You can just fight with your fist and get by, or play it like a hack and slash or a typical medieval game, or use all these magical abilities. It offers something for every kind of player. When everything works, it is super satisfying and brutal as well, not to mention. Crimson Desert wins this round. Missions in Red Dead mostly consist of a ride with someone else from your gang. You try to do something, it fails, you shoot down an entire town, you get away and Dutch promises next time will be different. That is roughly what you do for a lot of your time, but the game keeps it interesting. You go for a hot air balloon or you have a great time at Blackout. Even the most boring thing usually ends up fun. Following someone halfway across the map, no problem. You know you are in for a good conversation. You do the same thing in Crimson Desert, you are gonna lose your mind. Another thing I do not like in Crimson Desert are these puzzles that are not clever in any way. You pick something and throw it at something else. You literally throw everything at the wall hoping something sticks. That is how you solve puzzles. Quests are super repetitive and quite boring at times. The only saving grace is the combat. I am progressing through the main story at a snail's pace because of this. Quests are plain boring. You can just go away into the world and have 10 times the fun not doing any quest, just exploring. RDR2 easily wins this round. This wasn't a fair comparison, we handicapped Red Dead quite a bit. You add the main plot, the awesomeness of Arthur Morgan himself, and the wacky you come across out in the open world, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is the better game. But I can totally see someone who does not give a about the plot having a better time with Crimson Desert. Very few games are as much fun to explore as this. It does rely on the player, it is a sandbox, you are responsible for your fun in some ways. It is flawed, but it is so addictive in spite of all that. If you want to see Red Dead Redemption 2 compared with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, click the video on screen. For now, like, comment and subscribe. If you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you will enjoy future videos as well. Thanks for watching and have a great day wherever you are.